Grace Jones, thank you very much. Well done, Mick and David. Okay, we're going to LA to present our first Video Vanguard Award. Here again is Robert Get Down Palmer.
Hello, everyone. For the past 2 years, there has been a bit of a shadow hanging over this show. An elephant in the room that I've been waiting to address. Addicted to Love is a giant of music videos, and yet it's only barely gotten a mention on this show full of music videos. That all changes tonight. Now, of course, this is a show all about bad music videos, so Addicted to Love doesn't qualify. But when a video carries a legacy this remarkable, this well known, and this well regarded, there's bound to be a legion of imitators, and that is what I'm here to discuss. Over the past 36 years, dozens of music videos have referenced, parodied, and shamelessly ripped off this single work, including Robert Palmer's own later videos. But why this? How did this fairly simple video become such a recognizable and repeated icon of the genre? And how did Robert Palmer cash in on his own success? Addicted to Love comes from Robert Palmer's 1985 album Riptide. Robert claimed that the main bass riff came to him in a dream.
Addicted to Love. Now, did you actually write this in your sleep, the song?
Yeah, it woke me up
how
about
does that
3 in the
work?
morning. Well,
You're dreaming it?
Yeah. And often I'll dream stuff, and I'll have a tape recorder by the side of the bed, and so I'll mumble it in there, because if you completely wake up, you forget it like a dream. And then I'll play it back in the morning, and as a rule, you go, what an awful dream. But this particular one, when I listened to it back, I thought, oh yeah, I've got one.
But isn't that cheating?
The song was recorded at Compass Point Studios in the Bahamas, with Wally Badarou playing on the track. No, these are definitely the notes for this episode.
Let me tell you a little bit about our life and our friends at Compass Point. Wally Badarou was our neighbor across the hall. We'd talk about music with Robert until all hours. Robert was a true scholar of music history, and like us, he loved James Brown, Marvin Gaye, Aretha Franklin, and the whole Muscle Shoals crew.
Also on the track was Andy Taylor, Duran Duran guitarist and Robert's Power Station bandmate. As the band was cutting their first album simultaneously with Robert recording Riptide, he used a lot of the band members to fill out his album sound.
And Robert, tell me what's going on with your solo record.
Well, when I walked into the studio and started work with John, I've been looking for a producer, and there he was. As soon as I saw him, and within 5 minutes, I knew that Bernard was the guy. So when John and Andy went off to Paris to do the new James Bond theme, I nipped off with Bernard and the drummer from the Power Station, Tony Thompson, down to where I live, and started work on my record. That's halfway through now.
Adding an additional layer of odd connections, Chaka Khan was originally scheduled to lay down vocals for the track, but her management felt that having 3 singles out simultaneously would overexpose her, and she was relegated to just a vocal arrangements credit.
Were we working together?
Writing?
Writing, yeah. I'm writing and producing it.
You've been taking that responsibility for a while, but not kind of credited for it, sort of thing.
Yeah. Not writing it down on the album cover.
Yeah, but it's a lot more satisfying when
you can look at it,
and
black and white.
And you take the blame.
Absolutely.
But hey, you gotta work with Steve Winwood, am I right?
My name's Robert Palmer. Everybody's got one kind of addiction. My addiction's music, and it's legal.
The concept of the song centers around Robert's idea that you can be addicted to emotions, and the withdrawal from them can be just as severe as that from drugs.
You know, sometimes you can be addicted to something that's not a drug.
We might as well face it, we're addicted to love.
Probably because he found it impossible to film a video matching this concept, he went in a bit of a different direction.
My priorities go like this: love, food, music.
Come on, you know this video. Robert Palmer stands in front of a sunset background, surrounded by 5 models playing the song. So let's break it down. What makes this video iconic? Number 1, its simplicity. Robert Palmer and 5 models in front of a painted background. Such a basic concept, and yet it paid dividends. When you do music videos, you usually get pages and pages of production notes detailing what emotions and feelings you should be conveying. With Robert Palmer's Addicted to Love, there was a paragraph on a single sheet that said, "Look like showroom mannequins. Easy on the personality, girls. We're selling sex here."
The idea of 5 men singing the songs I felt would be a bit butch and lacking humour. So when he mentioned that we should put girls in it, I said, wait a minute, that's a dangerous subject with me. And then we said, well, what about if they're like window dummies, mannequins? And that's exactly what they are. They're all makeup and skinny and just girls, you know. Not my cup of tea.
The other reason for its lasting impression is Robert's performance. Much has been made of Robert's fashion and performance style, but none of it seemed put on, as a lot of early MTV hits were centered around creating larger-than-life personas. Robert's rejection of these conventions ironically made him stand out even more. People talk about the way he dressed in the videos, but that was the way he dressed all the time. And there was no pretense. He was very comfortable in his own skin. He'd come to the studio dialed in his double-breasted suit and proper tie, and he wore it well. I always respected that.
Reviewers who see your performances always say you're in control and that after a 90-minute show you don't sweat and your hair doesn't move. And it's kind of contrary to what the concept of rock and roll is.
Well, they weren't there.
Robert was reportedly uncomfortable in front of the cameras, so his performance style may not have been a front. It seemed like the video was filmed with Robert in frame just when he's singing, so that he always has something to do.
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
Be good just to hold him down by your side. Yeah, great.
When I see, for instance, Al Pacino on the screen, here's a guy who spent all his life studying what to do in front of a camera, an expert at it. He comes alive on the camera. I'm good in front of a microphone. I don't like looking at myself. I don't like being in front of the camera. I don't like my own appearance. It's not that I feel, embarrassed or nervous or anything like that. It's just that it's not my particular expertise, and I like experts. But on the other hand, it's easier than doing a 9-month tour.
There may have been other reasons that people wanted to focus elsewhere, but I'm gonna try not to feed into it. Every other comment on the original video seems to be, "Hey fellas, take a look at these babes, am I right?" So, given the success of this video, Robert would obviously want to recapture this winning formula. Let's take a look at how he tried to recapture it.
It is amazing. When I heard that my songs, this week I've got a song at number 3, the last one went to number 1. It's marvelous. I don't know what happened. I mean, I don't see that the current record is much different from any of the others. The wind must have changed, or maybe somebody paid somebody, I don't know.
Because of its simplicity and its iconic status as a staple of MTV, the video was copied and parodied dozens of times. Artists like Bowling for Soup, Tone Loc, Weird Al, Shakira, Dance Like a Mother, Shania Twain, Stardust, Paula Abdul, Billy Mack, Mr. Blobby, and Weird Al again have all had a go at replicating this shot. There were a lot of reasons why artists chose to recreate this video. Artists who did it at the time sought to copy the success of the MTV mainstay.
Matt said, let's rip off the Robert Palmer
Addicted to Love video.
Addicted to Love video.
Me and Tone were super tight, and Matt didn't want to have any part of trying to tell Tone to put on a suit to kind of rip off this video. So that was my gig, and let's just say it didn't go well. And Tone's like looking at me like I'm out of my goddamn mind. Shows Tone's instincts were always actually great. It would have been a complete disaster if he wore that suit.
And let's be honest here, it's an incredibly easy video to redo. You wear a suit, you stand in the middle of some models, and you sing the song. Done. There's really not a lot to mine from it. The actual stars of the video do a lot of heavy lifting to make it interesting. Later videos redid the shot to cash in on 80s nostalgia, like 1985 by Bowling for Soup, or to comment on the gender politics by flipping everyone, like Man, I Feel Like a Woman by Shania Twain. But most of the parodies only seek to juxtapose the iconic image with ridiculous jokes. For example, popular British charity musician Mr. Blobby. What am I looking at here? England, you no longer get to make fun of America's entertainment.
What are you watching? It seems to be a rather interesting extraterrestrial life form. Only puppets, you know. For children.
Oh. The greatest parodies, of course, come from the king of spoofs himself, Weird Al.
My guest tonight has been called pop music's premier satirist. And here he is singing Addicted to Spuzz from his new album, Polka Party. Please welcome Weird Al Yankovic.
When performing live versions of his spin on the song, Addicted to Spuzz, he would have a band full of Mr. Potato Heads backing him up. He also inserted a shot of himself as Robert Palmer into the video for UHF from the film of the same name.
Al's been building an audience for some time now. He's made several successful comedy albums, and until now has been known for his parody music videos. Of course, UHF has a music video or two, including one set to the theme song.
We gonna show you things you ain't ever seen.
Wait a second.
Convince me.
What we need to do is think. Think back.
I'm sure you've heard many tall tales.
John Cougar Mellencamp and Weird Al Yankovic here tonight. We all knew that Prince was a great actor, but who knew he could sing?
Oh, let me be your sledgehammer. This will be my testimony, yeah. We'd like to do some more songs about buildings and food.
It's kind of like Purple Rain, except it's intentionally funny, and I think that's the main difference.
But the weirdest ripoffs come from Robert Palmer himself. The next single from Riptide, I Didn't Mean to Turn You On, also featured Robert surrounded by models. However, there's a key difference here. More models. If 5 are good, 10 is obviously better. More! And then, on 1988's Heavy Nova album, they repeated their success twice more. The Simply Irresistible video takes the concept to its natural zenith, with as many models packed into the frame as possible. It truly proves the old adage, more is more. And finally, the saga concludes with the Change His Ways video. This one is a parody of those that came before, with the models replaced with animated chickens. See, the entire video features a Looney Tunes-esque animation of a male chicken pursuing a hen, Pepe Le Pew style. To Robert's shock and surprise, the usual models are replaced by 4 hens. You see, it's funny because it's different.
There's a couple of tunes that surprise me. One is the song called Change His Ways, in which I yodel. Everybody really seems to take to that, which is great. I thought it might have been a bit of a novelty item. I suppose it is, but it's a comedic song anyway.
The constant retread of the idea gets a bit exhausting. I typically allow for one repeat of a concept just to see if lightning could strike twice, but it hardly ever does. Look at Big Time. Same artist, same director, same medium, much different results. Robert claimed in interviews that part of the appeal of the original video's concept was to react to and criticize other music videos' sexist portrayal of women.
It was a presentation that was very humorous as far as I was concerned, and the whole juxtaposition of this like intense rock music with these like mannequins, and so when people thought that it was a serious attempt to put something, you know, like I don't know what people think of it really. I find it very confusing.
I can believe that, but the power of the satire gets diminished when you do it again and again and again, and especially when you do it in a Pepsi commercial.
I think it's a bit out of proportion to pick out that one. I mean, if you sit and watch those shows that run the videos, MTV, I mean, it's kind of the least offensive, you know.
And I know that it was probably some cynical middle manager at Island Records telling Robert, "Records are flying off the shelves. People can't get enough of these dames. Do it again." But I think it takes a lot of the bite out of your original concept. I mean, if you're only commenting on the horrible treatment of women in music videos, Why would you turn around and put them on the album cover?
Yeah, that was Addicted to Love, which I did in London with Terence Donovan. Nice looking group.
The first 3 videos were directed by Terence Donovan, a British fashion photographer. He had previously directed Robert's Riptide video, and once Addicted to Love was a hit, he was brought in to direct the follow-ups.
This next one, Riptide, was the first one that I worked on with Terence Donovan. We did 4 in a series that culminated in Simply Irresistible, which we'll see later on. And Terence's whole way of working was basically a phone call, get there and trust me. I did.
When I did my 900th interview about that Robert Palmer video, Addicted to Love, someone asked me where I got the idea from, and I said, I did something rather odd. I thought of it. It seems to be a rather old-fashioned thing to do. Change His Ways was directed by Julian Caden, who directed every video from Heavy Nova that wasn't Simply Irresistible. He had directed a couple of Power Station videos already, so I suppose that Robert trusted him again. It really sucks that Robert felt the need to keep repeating himself so much, because his previous videos were fun and imaginative. It would have been interesting to see where he would have gone if he wasn't expected to dip into the same well over and over. Robert Palmer wasn't comfortable doing videos. Addicted to Love exemplified how he felt about it. It's a video commenting on itself. He's making fun of it. He didn't really step outside of that. He did I Didn't Mean to Turn You On and Simply Irresistible, and they're both variations on Addicted to Love. He was a bit too old and self-conscious by the time videos became important. Geez, thanks a bunch. Thanks for watching, everyone. I always appreciate it when people like and share my videos, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Do you know a terrible music video you'd love to see me cover? Drop it in the comments. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. And now, a montage of interviewers being weird about the Addicted to Love video.
Now, it looks as if Robert is having a pretty good time up there singing with those women, but in actuality, he really isn't all that comfortable in front of the camera.
The obvious question, people out there would be ready to strangle me if I didn't ask it. Whose idea was it to throw the models in there and give the video the distinctive look?
Last night, did you see Addicted to Love, the brand new Robert Palmer video? He's got a fine band in there. They can't play, but they look terrific.